we are discussing the next slides. First thing was, okay, someone got to know it's OpenSSL included. We thought, okay, which OpenSSL? And then figuring out, OpenSSL is covered by an Apache license, but we still approached Cisco like, okay, are there any parts in your code that are GPL? If so, please provide those parts, which they denied, like, oh no, there's no code in it, which is GPL. And we ported back OpenSSL in 2003, and at the time, our legal team reviewed the license, and we don't have to give out any code. 097B has vulnerabilities, but this is on a certain processing platform, so they might not be present or not be exploitable too well. We could not follow up on this too much. As for the certificates, Cisco does a, we think, clever thing here. That is supplying the devices with a certificate that is already present by the manufacturing process, by a known manufacturing CA, which overall is a good approach. In the end of the day, it means that all devices disposing of such a cert are trusted by their peers anyway. So imagine cases like plugging off an AP, putting in a WLC that was acquired on eBay, which has a configuration option like disable all encryption, and this device is trusted as it disposes of the Cisco cert. Again, there should be more stuff to be found in this space. Finally, what we did to some extent was have a look at the management interfaces of the stuff, and that is essentially HTTPS and our old friend SNMP. You know that, or some of you might recall that in most talks we somehow mention SNMP at some point, and it turned out WCS has after 15 minutes, a guy from our team, Simon, who's mainly performing web application pen testing, came up with this one. It's blacked out. It's part of a disclosure process at the very moment. But again, it was found after 15 minutes, fiddling with some tools. I won't mention this not to give out details. But there will be more, and this is management, this is high-end equipment that costs a lot of bucks, and that stuff like this shouldn't be present in 2009 or 2010. As for SNMP, it turned out there's lots of stuff that is readable. It's per default private and public, and those of you who say that shouldn't be the case are certainly right. Still, we can tell you, in deployments we have seen, public and private is present, as people are happy to get over stuff running, and they don't care of SNMP communication which is needed between the WCS and the WLC. There is kinds of interesting stuff that can be found, get the release numbers out, identifies IPs, all kinds of strange named key stuff that has to be investigated further on. What is funny, maybe strange, certainly, is based on all the syslog messages generated by devices into the SNMP tree. I have no idea why they do this. This is not, say, sample messages to be generated. It's the real actual messages. So you have tons of syslog messages in the SNMP database. That is, again, there will be some explanation for that. We couldn't figure out any. There is some heritage from the airspace vault that is, at the first glance, this looked very interesting, as it means there is a piece within SNMP that stores the community names. So having read access to that one might be able to reveal the right community. We tried to exploit this. It didn't work. We think there was some use we were not aware of. But again, putting SNMP configuration into SNMP itself in a recreate OID, yeah, this is heritage kind of stuff. So what was interesting is there was username and passwords for the local administrators of some entities. Unfortunately, the passwords are obfuscated, so we couldn't modify or get them out or write them. But hey, I mean, why reset a password of an existing user if you can add new admin users with a given name and a given password? And this is the last demo for today. Daniel is going to provide. For time reasons, we will just perform the demo. We have, since 3 years, we have a tool that has evolved over time called SNMP Attack, available at our website. You should be able to find the link. It's not offensively linked due to German laws and stuff, but so what it does is there is an option in it that updates, gives a new user on the WLC that is provided by the, say, attacker, which is nice, again. So what are conclusions? Conclusions are those solutions overall are complex beasts. Be aware that there might be some obvious, as we showed, no, not so obvious security vulnerabilities in them. Getting back to what Bruce said in his yesterday opening remarks is, use common sense when deploying. That means, obviously, we have a white paper put together on stuff like this, which will be released together with the code, where all the basic rules are in there. Take care of SNMP, take care of segregation, all this stuff. But the message we want to give you is that this is not only specific to Cisco or to WLAN enterprise solutions. Stuff like this can be found in voice over IP enterprise solutions, in what kind of, say, database, in backup solutions. All the stuff, proprietary stuff, suffers from not too hard to find security vulnerabilities. That's it. Thanks for your kind attention. I'm not sure about how much time do we have for questions. No time. Okay, we are here. If you have any questions, approach us and have fun at Shmoocon.